Join me today as we use napkins and tissue paper in our junk journals. I'm using the pieces from my Etsy ephemera pack, Blue Jeans. The napkins have already been added to book pages and made into faux rice paper, ready for you to create beautiful pages for your junk journals. Hi everyone, Patty here. Let's use the prepared napkins and tissue paper that comes in the ephemera packs on my Etsy site and make pockets, tags, and journal pages. I'm a napkin collector, and some may say a connoisseur of beautiful napkins and tissue paper, so let's get started with our first project. You need to cut 3 circles out of 2 book pages that are included in your ephemera pack. I use 3 die cuts in varying sizes, 1 1/4 inch, 1 3/4, and a 2 inch. If you don't have a die cut machine, just trace circles from jars or containers to fit the top portion of your paper. Take your faux rice paper that has a translucent quality. Use your circles that you cut out for a pattern and find the pieces you want to show through your holes. They need to be a little bigger than the hole to be able to glue to the page, but not too big so it doesn't go into the other cutouts. I cut this one out, but I cut it too small because I was going around the flower instead of the circle size. I thought about using the pre-cut holes as a pattern, which made it a lot easier. On this hole, I picked a bird to go in the flower arrangement to cut out of the rice paper. You can use your template to look around to see what fits and what looks good. Place your pieces in the holes and glue around the edges in the 2 book pages together. I cut out a vase from a scrap piece of paper to make a pattern. Fold a piece of paper so you get the vase to be the same on both sides. My first pattern was a bit too big, I thought, so I made another and made it just a little smaller. You can cut the vase into any shape that fits your arrangement. See how it fits onto your paper. I have a few die cuts of flowers I want to add to my vase of flowers. I use my pattern of my vase onto a piece of scrap paper, eco-dyed paper that I will be using in my journal on another page so it will coordinate with my journal pages. Cut this out and glue all of your pieces together once you've decided on your arrangement. If you don't have die cuts, you could also use pictures from a magazine of flowers and leaves and cut those out and add them for your arrangement. I want this page to be a whole page, so I will add a piece of my material washi tape that's included in the ephemera pack to bind the two pages together. You need to leave a little gap between the pages so it folds nicely. Add the washi tape to both sides of the book pages. I thought about using the dyed coffee filter, which comes in the ephemera pack, for a vase for the flowers because I like the translucent it offers to look like a glass vase. But in the end, I went with the watering can die cut, which comes in the ephemera pack, to make an arrangement on the back side of the paper. So we will have a two-sided flower arrangement. I add a little silver gilding wax to the can. I believe the die-cut watering cans in the ephemera pack blue jeans are a silver color already. Why can I never remember to use gloves when using gilding wax? I think my hands are permanently stained with black ink or gilding wax of some sort. I'm just not one of those ladies with pretty nails. Glue the two pieces together for the watering can to give the bottom of the can some dimension. Add to your page a few more die cuts of flowers and leaves. I like to have a large focal point of a flower at the base of my arrangement and a few leaves spilling over the edge of the can. Wipe off any excess glue with a baby wipe. Find a place to add this beautiful page to your signatures. I went back and added a little ink tints pins on the bottom of the vase to give it a table or something to ground the vase and the watering can. On the next page, I decided to draw a few flowers and leaves onto the circles to add to the other side of the pages. I used a micro pen and just loosely drew some quickie sketches onto these circles. No thought or plan of what type of doodle, but just to give a little more interest to my pages and follow through with the circle theme. You should have 6 circles to doodle on if you cut 3 holes through 2 pieces of book pages. I go back with my ink tints pencils, or you can use watercolor to add a little color to my circles. I went with greens, yellow, and orange because that's what matches the colors on my napkin that I had used for the flower arrangement. These ink tints pencils, it doesn't take much color at all to get a nice added extra bonus to the circles. I went around each circle with walnut distress ink to give them a vintage look and help them pop out of the page. I have 6 circles, so I will use 3 on each page, randomly glued on. I like to make sure my old textbook pages are double-sided as they are flimsy paper, so gluing the 2 pieces together to make a nice thick page for your journal is a good idea. Next, I find some wording on the bottom of the page that I highlight by adding a box around them to say something. This will depend on the words that are on your page, but it's a fun thing to try and to come up with something that flows nicely. This page has the napkin already adhered to a book page with a piece left on the bottom that will fold up and make a great pocket. I add some of the washi tape to the center of the page to strengthen the center margin for when I sew the signatures together. Trim off any excess. Fold the bottom margin that doesn't have any napkin adhered to it up onto the inside of the page. I sewed down each of the sides of the pocket to make separate pockets for each page. The ephemera packs come with a snippet piece that works great for adding interest to the pocket, or you can use a piece of cheesecloth and a few pieces of paper to make a collection on the pocket. Find a place for this page in your signature. I see that it's way too big. I don't want it sticking out that much. So I use a ruler and trim off the excess of the page so it will fit into my signature better. You need to do this step, though, before you sew the edges down, or you will cut off the sewing and have to re-sew the piece. This page is big, and I want to cut it down and make 2 more pages for my signatures. I trim off all the excess, or you can glue the excess onto the back side. Save the piece that you rip off to add a pocket to the inside of this page. My finished page is about 5½ inches long and 4 inches wide, which will be a smaller page in my signatures. And I like to have all different size pages in my signatures. I added a few dried flowers onto the back of these trucks the trucks have flowers in them. I thought that was a nice, interesting addition too. I still have another page of the napkin that's on a book page, so let's make some tags. Cut them into 4 sizes and cut the corners with a template to make the pieces look like tags. I've shown this before in my videos where you use an old credit card as a template and cut angles onto the corners so you can make the same size edges on each corner. It sure is a quick and easy tip. Just fold it, flip it over when you do the other side of your tag. I've just randomly cut these into different sizes to use up every piece of my paper. I have this great hole punch that makes a long rectangular hole, but use whatever hole punch you have. To decorate these tags, I just add clusters of words and sayings with leftover pieces and bobs, cheesecloth, and whatever you may have. The kit comes with embroidery thread and buttons, which I use to sew the buttons onto a few of the clusters. Sometimes, though, if you use buttons, it adds a lot of thickness to your page. Don't forget to go around each one with some distressing ink to make them look a little more vintage. This one I added a button, and then I added a few extra stitches, just a little running stitch down the side of it. Knot it on the back and glue your clusters to the tags. I love to fray the edges of the material and the jeans to add to the clusters. It gives it a little more texture. Jeans nowadays have so much spandex in them that they don't fray as easily as all cotton. Staple a piece of material to the tops for a tag to pull out of the pocket. Or the kit comes with yarn, and you could use yarn at the top of each of your tags. I wanted to add another use for your faux rice paper by making a specimen card. Take your specimen card template that comes in the ephemera kit and color it to match your journal colors. You could use Distress Oxide sprays, watercolors, or whatever you have. My new favorite is a strong tea mixture with a little of my handmade rustic ink. It gives it a hint of gray to the tea and adds a grungy look that I'm loving. Make sure you dry this well before you go on to the next step. Some of the color will seep through to the back side, or you can paint both sides, but just make sure it is dry. Pick which side you like the best. Find the piece you want to have centered in your specimen card. I keep going back to this little bird. Before you glue, make sure and score the center of the specimen card so it will fold easily. I just use a ruler and my bone folder to go down the center. Add your glue to one side of the specimen card. Place your faux rice paper centered into the specimen card. You would have to cut this first if the part you wanted to be centered wasn't on the edge, but my little bird is, so I can fit him right in there and still get him in the center of the specimen card. Adjust it to fit and add glue onto the other side of the specimen card. Making sure that you have the rice paper covering the hole. Cut the faux rice paper and trim off any excess. Finish your pieces with a little cluster of cheesecloth, labels, stamps, whatever you would like to do. These pieces will be a nice addition to my next journal. Hope you give it a try. Thanks for watching.